A little bit more of an informal shoot here. Just want to update you on the goings on. There's the pipe coming out the ground, going to the house, and things are back to normal. Got that crap laid back up against the wall. Walk around here, you can probably barely tell that that's been dug up and buried, but then I didn't dig very deep. Got my weird sink back into place. And then of course, my elbow had words with me, but I got these stones all banged back into place. And that damn foamy in place. You see that pipe right there goes under, and because of the slope I needed, I couldn't bury it deep enough to really put stones over top. So, I don't know, light coverage, and then that foam, better insulation. I'm thinking of putting a rubber mat there or something eventually. Haven't figured it out yet. That's how that's gonna stay. Getting prepared for the winter, kind of. Moving right along over here, that's filled in, and oh, look at that. I am almost not used to seeing this area without a big whomping hole in it. I've gone and throughout the course of the last 2 days, pecking away at it, started filling her in. Mostly leveled here. Surprising how much material is not left over considering how much I added. Gotta remember, I put a bunch of mortar sand in there, like quite a bit. So to have like that much, like I could probably just spread that out and I don't even have to remove it. Over here, still a mountain that is really a molehill. Gotta fill in this area. It was difficult at the time because yesterday it was full of water and it was tricky getting things to not float. Particularly these last few pieces of plank right here that are going to cover one of the only exposed pieces of wire in the trench. There, and there, and over there. The rest of it's in conduit. Those guys were floating like Cheerios, so now they're seated down. I could put stuff over top of them. Now mind you, all this work took me till dinner time yesterday, so called it quits early anyway. There's the tube going in. Oh, the clamp I think I accidentally buried. Whatever, I'm gonna get back to it. So you gotta watch out for something here. Right there, there is a pipe going across the trench, which is higher up than the level in which I'm filling. And you gotta watch out for situations like that because the force and load of putting a bunch of material over that pipe, if it's improperly supported underneath, can cause it to shear, especially in the ebb and flow of seasonal changes like winter and frost. Like literally, you might think, oh, I can't hurt it that much, but I have seen this phenomenon literally shear and crack cast iron sewer pipe before. I know, it happened to the house. So, with ye old utility pump set up in the rain barrel, this marks the first time in human history I quite ironically want to put water inside of the trench. After the battle, it was trying to get water out of the trench. Here I am trying to put it back into the trench in hopes that by water eroding material, I can get it under the pipe to properly support it. Well, here goes nothing. Oh, 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 oh. Why does it feel so weak? Hey, maybe we should call it there before this turns into a balls out mud puddle. Oh, great. And of course the off switch is not working. There it goes. And of course it's gonna slowly siphon out. Now I basically gotta poke it with a stick and see if I can stir the material that's in this soup in underneath of there. Honestly, the real brutal part is raking and leveling this whole thing. You see, the rake is really small and it doesn't move a lot of material, but it takes a lot of energy to move what little material it does move because it's all packed and stuck to the ground. So you're pretty much, yeah, takes forever. And why do I smell burning electronics? Does this camera angle do it justice? Can you see how not lumpy it is now? I think this is good enough. Raking, leveling, Bit of rough spots because of the big rocks. Not really gonna bother packing it down. Gonna let the rain do that. And hopefully the dirt sinks to the bottom and gravel comes to the top. But oh boy, I am not used to this yard without a big ditch in it now. It's kind of nice. What am I gonna do with this newfound square footage? All the things, I'm sure. And now that this thing is complete, kind of have to set it up into a functional space. On that note, there is the matter of a workbench that I have. It's currently in the red shed over there, and I gotta get it moved over to here. That's tricky just being one person though. Let's go see what we can do. So there it is, this thing. It's built by my dad and my uncle at some point, and for the longest time, it was inside my other tool shed that was very similar to this, so I know it's gonna be a perfect fit, but I have to clear this arse off and get it out of here, and that also means I gotta like move most everything that's in this room out. So that's great. That's just the way she goes, right? Yeah. I don't even know if I should be filming this. It's gonna be a while. Yeah, I'm gonna pause camera. So yeah, this is a thing that exists. All these particulate matter strewn about the yard, sir. So you may have noticed I got all the stuff out of the shed, or at least the stuff relevant on the one side. And then ye old workbench here measuring in, it's 3 2x6s. Sixes, that's 5.5. Isn't it? 5, 10, 15, 16.5. Not the deepest workbench in the world. It's pretty sturdy though, pretty sturdy. As you can see, I kind of shimmy cocoa puffed it over to this general position, and the next stage of the operation dictates that I will be needing some ratchet straps because I'm gonna have to engage some creative tomfoolery to actually get this thing mobile. The general consensus being to get this dolly underneath, which is tricky because stuff wants to roll on me. And then that hung up on something. Okay. That should do like that. You see, Toki, this thing isn't particularly heavy, but it is a bit unruly for one individual to try to hoof over on their own. So the best technique I've come with is I pretty much strap it to this dolly. Now, can I remember the strategy I used to use? Yeah, time for some plumber crack. Plumber crack. We didn't always refer to plumber's hind end as much as referred to a form of drug they used to use back in the day. Came from New York when it was expanding very quickly in the early 1900s, and things like cocaine was still legal, and these hardworking tradesmen, in order to keep up with the demand and the work pace, turned to certain stimulants to augment their productivity. I made that up. Ouch. Now, if you haven't noticed, by doing this, I've essentially attached wheels to the workbench itself, making it almost one big dolly. In theory now, all I have to do is go to the other end and just like that. Is it better pushed or pulled? What do you think? It'd also be nice if I hadn't been skipping my workouts the past few weeks. Combination of seasonal depression and too damn busy doing this kind of thing. Okay, there we go. Oh boy. Okay, I want to hit it straight. That wasn't straight, but I'm okay. Oh boy. Naturally, I kind of want to inspect on this a bit. Cobwebs, dust, dirt. Make sure no wee beasties are trying to sneak in. Looks like it's pretty good. Oh, that moth thought he was going to get a free ride. Come on, you like lamp, don't you? There's a big one right over there. Fly free, little buddy. Fly free. I think he was sleeping. Not really in the mood before he's had his coffee, right? Ah. The first workshop shed project is the workshop shed itself, as I finally get to indulge in the fruits of my labor. Oh, look at this nice power supply circuit right here. Oh, no more running extension cords from the house. Just right there, bud. That's freaking wonderful. Entanglement's not wonderful though. Come on now. This workbench saw a majority of its use working on dirt bikes. As you can see, there's a little bit of an area here that's smashed and greasy. It's pretty clean otherwise, so I'm gonna have to pick my battles. Which ways are which areas do what. Up here on the top shelf, might result in a slight abandonment because this thing is ripe with an oil spill. I can't remember if that was a chainsaw or a bike engine. I had a spare bike engine sitting on the shelf, but I might have also had a chainsaw sitting on the shelf. Either way, one of them leaked oil. It'll preserve the wood well, but it may make for a fire hazard. I might invest in another fire extinguisher. That'd probably be a good idea. This is all pressure treated wood too, eh? That's pretty nice. Just something my dad and uncle threw together. I have an undercarriage light here. Slightly obsolete as it's a crappy low output fluorescent, but better than none. I don't know how useful it'll be there unless I'm working on something dirty. Maybe I should replace it with something more modern. I don't know. The question now is to see if I can generally just kind of hike a lot of this in here. Is this guy gonna stay open for us? Probably not. One of these days I need to employ or find some final solution to keeping these things open. I guess I should remove surplus attributes from in there. Maybe get obstacles out of the way. Yeah, that should be a good idea, right? Well, now the shed is completely empty. I'm not gonna bother moving the camera to show you. You can take my word for it. Use your imagination a bit. That is a refreshing sight. A fresh, clean, empty room for you to do whatever you want with. Let's try not to clutter it right the hell up right away, right? This is where it gets tricky because I no longer have wheels. We both know my paint job on that floor is probably a bit sketchy. I don't want to risk scratching it up too bad sliding on it. What solution do we have to that problem then? Wonder how well scrap pieces of ceramic tile would glide against wood. Nah, it's gonna scratch it up. Ooh, I think I have some carpet. Ha! An old car carpet. I should put this outside or just on the inside of the door after so I can brush my feet off. But if I put this carpet side down, we should have a glider. Okay, assuming that stays put. Who's calling me? All right, now that that's in place, let's see if we could strategically kind of like, okay, yeah, it works. Aha. Now the thing is, we gotta twist it this way now. Oh, I'm so blown out on this camera because I wanted to expose for the inside. Please forgive me. I want to put this against the back wall, which I believe it should fit. I should remeasure though, just to make sure I'm not causing problems for myself. 9 feet, 1, 2, 3 inches, effectively 9'4", which is how tall you have to be taken seriously on a dating site. Width-wise, we have 9 foot, oh geez, 9'4". Exactly, really. Actually, yeah, like 9'4" on the inside of the conduit, which means I won't be able to put it butt up against the wall because the conduit curves, but it should fit. However, it's not gonna fit with this monstrosity attached, so we're gonna have to swing her around and try to get her as much in place as we can, and then detach that thing. Okay. Woohoo, helicopter! It's a chopper. I don't know that the NDs are good bargains for this. I don't know, maybe this would be better off against one of the walls, like this wall here. That's where it used to be, against here. And these Motor Masters are notorious for their jamming upness. Maybe I should hit them with some WD or something, I don't know. All right, let's eject. Eject the transit mechanism. That wasn't much of an ejection. That's what she said. All right, and now the awkward nature of fitness. Fitness bench into the shed. Oof, the geometry might make this tricky, seriously. I don't know if it's gonna clear this plug, even though there's enough room in there. Oh boy, this is gonna be a tight fit, bud. You mean I can't get it past this plug? There's a possibility I might have to dismantle some electrical to get this thing in here. Well, that's wonderful news. Unless, can I straighten it up, and then how much room do we have between the plugs themselves? Ooh, 9'1". Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to shimmy this between the plugs themselves. We should double check our measurements between the conduits. Yeah, it should just fit between the conduits. Okay, all right. It's not the worst tragedy humanity has had to deal with. Just, you know, what approach should I take? I didn't realize that this was gonna be so involved. I couldn't put it straight here because the heater's gonna be in the way. Leveraging it in that conduit, where the conduit sticks out, is gonna be a problem. Okay, it looks like our tolerances are too tight. Once again, as is the theme of the things that I do. Maybe I do have to put it on the side wall. Maybe I'm just gonna have to eat that because it would be a heck of a lot easier to put on the side wall, right? I'm gonna pause and think on this for a bit. Yeah, after much deliberation, even consulting some think tanks and focus groups, it's probably ultimately better I put this against the wall there. The shed is just a touch longer than it is wider. And ultimately, if I was gonna drive like a quad in here, it would take up a lot of the length. Quads are also longer than they are wider. So I'd have more room to move around and work on it if this was against the wall. So be it. So be it. That's a double so. Oh. Oh, come on, car. Why do you gotta be like that? Now we gotta do a twisty thing where I kinda wish I had 2 carpets to work with. Or someone will lift one end while I slide the other. Little pivot shouldn't hurt too bad, right? Oh yeah, let's hump that into place. Oh yeah, I definitely scraped the floor. Called it. I should just lift this into place now. Okay, it's got to move just a slight that way so it clears the receptacle. Boom. Still get at the light switch as well. It's just the circulation fan's over here. If I end up making a smoky mess over here, I kind of wanted this to be like directly over. In retrospect, had that been the plan, maybe I would have put this on this side. Yeah, I suppose this should be working for us now. Let us plug in this light. Oh, it goes right into the red phase, the same as the main lights. Ooh, I suppose this will work now. Oh geez, it does. But it's so low output, you can't even notice it on. Oh well. I want to do something for power distribution up here. Like put some plugs up here. Plugs that, you know, they look like they're official, but they just kind of reach down and plug into one of those. Maybe a box mounted directly to this. And then some on each end. I do not have any more candy boxes. I guess I should get stuff back in here and maybe get the other shed cleaned and put away. Hey, watch where you're pointing that thing. Now tell me, sir, tell me, honestly, how nice does that table tuck into that corner right there? Oh boy. This is actually a really heavy-duty folding table. Wow, the sun's coming in on me. But yeah, it's a folding table, usually not associated with their sturdiness, but this one's actually pretty friggin' good. And it is my utility project table in this case. Because at any point in time, oh, I should put this in backwards so it's even easier to set up, right? And boom! Not only do you have the whatever workbench, but you also have sturdy arse platform to do something more. Like this is actually like this, like for a folding table, seriously, it's pretty good. Now, part of the philosophy behind this folding table is I'm gonna be doing projects outside of the shed, just in front. This is kind of like a home base, a headquarters, right? I'm gonna have tools and power access in here, but some of the actual work I do might be out front. Or, you know, if I'm fixing on a lawnmower, I can plop her down right in the middle of the room here, but I can drag it out, work out on the front, or yeah, just perfect. And then because I don't want this much furniture taking up this much space, it's a little awkward to work with, but needs good vacuuming underneath, I think. I think that's actually works out real perfect. Bam. Just stores here in the corner. Then I have my space open up again. I'm considering keeping this rolly table in here because this is a convenient little, oh, I need just something to roll around here and put stuff down on kind of thing. I don't know. I used to keep that in the house in the main workshop, but I barely ever end up using it in that application. That's just a great utility table in general, rolling it around the house to areas you might be working on, you know, making a little fix over here, a little fix over there. You just kind of bring your tools with you. And the little dip in it is kind of like a tool clutch too. So this is actually a hospital under bed table. Purchase surplus. Super quality. This thing's ancient, but it's just, everything works and it's still sturdy and solid. Nice.